Late at night, deep in the woods, a backpacker recorded something strange. In the distance, a pale white figure stood unnaturally still. Suddenly, it started to move, and the eyes reflected his light. Could this be a twisted prank, or was something more sinister happening here? This Reddit user was exploring death row at the Missouri State Penitentiary with his dad when something eerie happened. As his dad walked towards him, the user snapped these photos. To their shock, something appeared behind him. In the first photo, there's a faint figure near the top of the stairs, hard to notice at first. But in the second photo is the most unsettling. A woman can be seen, walking behind his dad, who wasn't there. In the third shot, you can spot the same woman, right behind him again. What's even stranger is that the dad mentioned that his legs gave out as soon as they neared the end of the walk, something that can be seen in the last photo. So who or what was with them that day? Daniel, a nature-loving YouTuber, was all set for a peaceful wild camping night. On May 4th, 2023, he found a perfect spot in the woods to test his new grill and cooked a steak. As night fell, he settled into his bivy bag, thinking it would be a quiet night. But then, suddenly, this happened.
There's a massive deer just over there looking at me. Oh shit, it's running towards me. Oh. Let me get my breath back. Oh.
A massive deer charged at him, knocking him to the ground and leaving him winded. Shocked and in pain, Daniel realized he had no choice but to pack up and leave. He made his way back to his car, finally able to rest his sore ribs. A guy was cruising through the woods on his dirt bike when, out of nowhere, a barefoot man appeared on the trail.
Whoa! What?
You ran into a truck at all?
Nope.
Or
Nope.
if you do, can you I don't know, possibly turn around and try to find me? I'm going to be taking this truck.
Okay.
I appreciate it. I really do. I've been looking for 2 days.
The guy said he'd been looking for a truck for 2 days and was acting kind of strange. The biker wasn't sure what to make of it, but told him that if he saw a truck, he'd let him know, though he didn't think there was one around. After riding a bit further, the biker actually found a truck in the woods and decided to go back to tell the man.
Truck's about 3 minutes down the trail. Yep.
Commenters suggested the man might have driven into the woods, gone for a walk, and lost his truck, but the truck looked like it had been sitting there for a while. The biker couldn't help but wonder, why was there a truck out there, and why was the guy so desperate to find it, even on bare feet? Was there something shady in there? A group of friends went exploring an abandoned palace at night. The place was huge, with giant doorways and hallways that seemed endless. The camera slowly moved across one of these big doorways, staying focused on it for a while. Then, out of nowhere, the cameraman heard something from down the hall and saw this. A figure appeared, just standing there, staring at him. Realizing he was in over his head, the cameraman quickly decided to get out. But I wonder, could it have just been a statue? In Govia, Gujarat, India, a group returned to their stay, only to freeze in place. Inside the house, a pair of glowing eyes stared back at them from the dark. It was an Asiatic lion, found only in this region of India. Drawn by the smell of meat, it had made itself comfortable, right next to the fridge. Thankfully, no one was hurt. Authorities were called and the lion was safely guided back into the wild. Late one night, a TikTok user named PT Poppy and his friend went on their first random exploration using the Randonaut app. It led them deep into a forest. With just flashlights, they followed the coordinates and came across this.
That's where we're going. How much further are we going? Dude, let's go. Let's go.
Instead of turning back, curiosity pulled them in even further. As they crossed into the taped-off area, things quickly got unsettling.
Yo, dude, what is that? Yo, turn off the light, turn off the light. Oh, shit. Wait, yo, go. Go, yo, Seabass, go.
It was enough to make them run. PT later posted about the incident, calling it the creepiest experience of his life. And honestly, it's not hard to believe. What was going on out there? While exploring a cemetery in Massachusetts, a group of friends decided to take some photos of their adventure. They agreed not to look at any pictures until they had left the site. When they finally reviewed the images, they were shocked by what they saw. In one of the photos, on the right side, there's a strange white figure dressed in dark clothing. The figure appears to be translucent, almost ghostly. No one knows what it is, but the sight of it is undeniably unsettling. Rob Call Nature, a YouTuber known for camping in remote locations, decided to explore a mysterious site marked as a Viking tomb deep in a Finnish forest. After spotting it on Google Earth, he parked near a logging road and immediately felt that something was off.
That's weird. Why would they do that? That really bothered me. Why would they take pictures of my car? So, we have to head due west. When I unpacked my car, there drove a car by. They slowed down pretty much when they saw me. And just now, before I left the road into the woods, they made another round and took a picture of my license plate. Maybe it was the landowner. Maybe they thought I was a poacher.
Brushing off the unease, he ventured into the woods, eventually finding the old stone mound and setting up camp beside it. As night fell, the cold became unbearable, forcing him to cut the trip short and leave early. When he reached his car, he discovered something unsettling. Someone had been there during the night.
Well, I found her. My princess in shiny armor. Well, someone has been interested in my car. I knew there was something off. These are not my footprints. The left one is mine, and the right one is the visitor in the night. When we headed out, someone took a picture of my car. Well, maybe they're as curious as I am. Well, that's the... let's just get out of here.
The chilling realization that he might have been stalked the entire time left him shaken. Who, or what, had been watching him? A young woman named Rachel tried the Randonaut app with her brother during a family gathering in Northern California and filmed everything for TikTok. The app quickly led them to a strange area.
I'm in flip-flops. This is a bad idea, but we're like 50 yards away. All right, there was... Yeah. There's like literally garbage that's dragged all the way down here. There's a soccer ball, a wrapper, a ton of stuff right there.
As they moved deeper in, they started noticing odd things scattered around. But things took a darker turn when they realized someone was following them.
Right behind that tree.
Really? Mm-hmm. Wait, I wonder if I come this way.
He's literally sitting behind that tree.
What would he be doing?
Even after walking for a while, they kept spotting a figure hiding among the trees.
Okay. Just when I thought this was over, there's literally somebody in the forest. He's following us through the forest? Oh my god, he's right there. He's literally, there's a guy in the forest right there. Oh my god, Brent, I want to go. I'm so scared. He's literally, there's a guy.
Then they came across several trees spray painted with the word "stop." That was their last straw, and they left immediately. Thankfully, nothing happened. But what if they had stayed? A man and his friend were hiking deep in the Amazon rainforest, somewhere in Brazil, when they stumbled upon something that left them speechless. In the middle of the dense jungle, they discovered a plane wreck, crashed and abandoned. No sign of survivors, no trace of anyone nearby. The sounds in the background, likely from wildlife, added to the eerie atmosphere. But in the Amazon, every rustle and movement is unsettling. What happened to the people aboard? No updates were ever shared about the crash, and the mystery remains unsolved. Since the footage was uploaded, we can assume that at least the hikers made it safely out of the forest. For those who can't stand spiders, consider this your warning. This backpacker found himself in a terrifying situation when he discovered this: a tractor completely covered in spiders. The reason behind this? After heavy rains or floods, spiders often leave their usual hiding spots and seek higher ground. Unfortunately for this man, The tractor was their choice. Nomad Unknown, a solo traveler documenting her car camping journeys, set out to explore the Wild Azalea Trail in Louisiana. She finally found a good spot to set up camp, but as she checked out the surroundings, she noticed something unsettling.
You ever just come across somebody and the energy is just off? That is what's been happening to me a little bit today. I'm about 3 miles in and I found this spot that I would really love to camp. But just as I was getting here, I saw somebody that I've seen twice already today. The first time I saw him, he only had a water bottle in his hand, no backpack or anything. And I saw him at the trailhead where I parked my car as I was still pulling things out of my car. And at that point, as soon as he saw me, he sort of turned around and headed back onto the trail. I've seen him 4 times, I just realized. And then I saw him as I was hiking. I had started with my pack up the trail, and he came from behind me, still with just the water bottle. And I didn't hear him at first, but it kind of startled me a little bit. So I moved over to let him go past, and that time was the first time I said, "Oh, hello." And he just said, "Hi." The next time I saw him, he was at a crossroads, and it looked like he was loading things into his car to leave. But I guess he was pulling a backpack out, because even though I didn't say anything to him at that point, I literally just got across this bridge that's behind me, and I was filming some of the wild azaleas. And there he came from behind me again, this time with the backpack on, like an overnight backpack. And I said, "Oh, hello again." I might have even filmed that, although I didn't film him. And again, he just said, "Hi." There's nothing concrete that's wrong with any of that, but it's the feeling of...
Was he following her? After a while, she decided to check out another spot, but then she saw this.
This area that I was looking across at, you see, there's the bridge, you can see that, and then the backpack's right there. I was thinking I was going to camp over there, but I looked over and I saw this area here, the clearing, and I thought, you know what, that's a bit more hidden from trail. I might feel more comfortable and secure over there, so I came over. Why is there a trail cam pointing to that campsite? I don't really know how those things work. Maybe it's not visible on the camera, but like, what else is it pointing at? Okay. The heck?
A trail cam pointed directly at her campsite. Whether it was just a coincidence, it was enough to make her uneasy.
Like, here's the trail cam. What is it pointing at? Putting my camera right behind. My backpack is right there. That's where we're gonna camp. Like, that's an established campsite. Looks like this one is too, but what the heck is going on here? First, weird energy. Second, a trail cam pointed at a campsite? I think 1 strike, 2 strike. I gotta get out of here before 3 strikes and I'm out.
Alone in the woods with no protection, she trusted her gut, packed up and left. Whatever was going on, staying wasn't worth the risk. 2 guys were riding through the forest when they came across a bear. One of them somehow thought it was a good idea to try and feed it, but of course the bear wasn't having it.
No. Huh?
Luckily, the guy was unharmed, and the bear left right after the attack. He was incredibly lucky to walk away with his life, because things like this can end badly. But I bet he's learned his lesson now. Xiaolong was intrigued by the Chinese Ghost Festival, a creepy event where spirits are said to roam freely. So he decided to test this legend by venturing into a haunted forest in China, where locals claim restless spirits haunt an abandoned graveyard.
发现个问题没？你发现这个地方寸草不生吗？这应该是个绝户地，也就是我们常在电影里面听到的极阴之地，称之为鬼煞之地。这个地方，兄弟们，我操，这很有可能会出现僵尸啊！得亏我今天请了一个我最牛逼的法器。纯纯的桃木剑，兄弟们，这个真是开过光的，不要俩笑话我啊！纯纯桃木剑啊，兄弟们。
He set up his camera and began asking questions. And then, this happened.
蜡我给你吹了，有能耐你就出来，没能耐我下班。今天我也差不多了，因为平台给我卡个 B 型。我妈呀！我操你妈！我操！我行吗？我操！
Suddenly, 3 footsteps appeared in the sand, but no one was seen on camera. Xiaolong grabbed his gear and fled, but as he turned, the footage glitched, and the video cut off completely. No updates have surfaced since then. So did he catch something paranormal, or was it just a hoax? George, a storm chaser, found himself in serious trouble while trying to escape a tornado. He was speeding through a field when, out of nowhere, his truck got stuck. It couldn't have happened at a worse moment. The tornado was almost on top of him. But instead of panicking, he grabbed his camera and started filming. The tornado was insanely close, roaring right by him as he sat there, helpless in his stuck truck. In the end, George was fine, and he managed to capture one of the most intense close-up tornado shots you'll probably ever see. A woman claimed she spotted something weird at the back of her property, so she decided to drive closer in her truck to check it out. There, she filmed this. There's a tall figure in the distance, just standing perfectly still. It's wearing white clothes, but what freaks me out the most is the head. It's completely blank, like no eyes, no hair, just pure white. It's staring straight ahead and not moving at all. Honestly, it looks real. If it's not a prank, what was this doing out here? This man was riding through a wooded route, starting off what seemed like a fun adventure. But things took a sudden twist when this happened. An angry woman appeared out of nowhere, confronting the man.
I'm sorry, get off!
I'm sick and tired of you,
This is the first time I'm here!
He had accidentally entered private property. She yelled at him to leave, threatening to call the cops.
Bullshit! You guys are here all the time,
No, it's
scaring
not
my horse. weekend, every other night. I hear you guys. Stay off my fucking property now or blow up the top.
While her approach was a bit harsh, it's understandable. She was clearly upset about the biker trespassing on her land. Chris and Charlene from the channel Travel Tales were on a road trip through Sweden when things took a dark turn. On July 18th, 2024, while heading to a secluded camping spot, they noticed a pickup truck tailing them. Feeling uneasy, they decided to call the police and kept driving.
So we're currently driving in the forest, and there's a pickup van just behind us, and he's basically following us. I don't know what the hell is going on, to be honest.
So weird.
So weird, it never happened to us.
Turn left.
First I thought I was being paranoid because I was slowing down and he was slowing down, and I was speeding up and he was speeding up, and now when we just went to turn he came after us, and then we went back and he came after us again. So he's definitely following us, and we're about half an hour away from the city, and I think we're just going to call the police now
and head there to the
keep driving, the main
center.
road. Luckily we realised about it and didn't go into the forest.
Oh my god, I'm just
Calm down, just dial the number because we need to call them.
So basically we're driving right now in the forest. We're heading to Halmstad. We are 26 minutes away, and there's a van behind us, a pickup truck, and he's following us. This is not a joke. He's been driving about 30 minutes behind us. This is so scary. We were in a very remote place, in a very remote area, and now we're seeing a little bit more cars finally. So hopefully now we get to the police station and he stops following us, or I don't know what's gonna happen. But what do you think will happen now?
No idea. It's a lot different now because we're entering Halmstad city, so there's so many more cars. It's still behind us, and it's definitely following us for sure. I don't know what we're going to do when we get to the police station though.
Yeah,
it's like,
exactly.
We're just gonna...
I think we should stay in the van.
I guess so, yeah, everywhere's locked, right?
For nearly 30 minutes, the truck stayed right behind them. Who was following them, and what were their intentions? Just as things were getting really scary, a police car appeared.
Hello. Hello, what the man, they've been following us for
30 minutes.
That area have been a lot of burglaries, so those that live there is a little on the high edge, if you understand.
Oh, yeah,
and then they see a drone.
Yeah, but
and then I think that you were planning some.
I thought they were gonna rob us or something. I don't even know if I got any speed cameras because I'm just like shaking
but
and driving.
Did it flash?
No, I don't think so because I slowed down. But
okay,
I don't know what they were doing because we go slow and they go slow. We go fast, they go fast. We go left, they go left.
And that's the right way, of course.
Yeah,
Not
like
stop if someone just. They called us. Yeah, she as well, and those as well, and said they were off the caravan. I think they were gonna plan something.
Yeah.
Yeah. My colleague are talking to them right now. How about it's okay with you? Just a little.
Yeah, we're a bit shocked.
Our station is in Halmstad. That's
Yeah,
why
we
it
came like
took a while.
30 kilometers away.
We come as fast as we could.
We were gonna find the camping in the forest, but now we come to the city instead. It's like because more
safe.
people.
I understand.
Yeah. Because we went into the forest, I made the indicator, and you know the road is like this, and you have a side one, and I went in like this, and he coming after me. So I'm like, fuck. Then I went
really
out.
Following
and
us.
like,
That's when we confirmed
then
that
I said,
he's
like, call
really
the police
following
because-
us. You know.
They thought you were dangerous, and you thought they were dangerous.
Yeah, I understand now. But
Sit tight.
yeah, I stay.
It turns out the driver had been following them after seeing them fly their drone, suspecting them of being involved in local burglaries.
It's just so weird. And apparently, because we took the drone shot, he decided to get in his pickup truck
And
and follow us 40 kilometers all the way to Halmstad, just for fun, well, not for fun, but just to pursue us. And I don't know, what was he planning to do?
Just
if we confronted, like, was he going to fight us? Was he going to hurt us? Was he going to try and take the footage or something? It's really weird. Really, really weird.
We didn't really talk to him now when the police came.
No, the police spoke to him.
We have no idea what kind of guy was he.
Yeah, we saw him though. He drove by. He had like a beard and pickup truck, and
he looked normal though.
I told the police. I said, like, do you want me to go and speak to him to assure him that we are not planning any attack? But they said, no, don't worry about it. It's okay. It's not your fault. And he apologized. He said they shouldn't have done that.
And we asked the police guy that if this happens very often, and he said no. So
we were really unlucky.
Unlucky.
The police cleared everything up, but the couple was shaken, relieved they hadn't gone deeper into the forest. What would have happened if they had come into contact with the man? Rick was exploring a forest at midnight when he walked by a fence and saw a stranger creeping along the other side, moving slowly like he was in a trance. He was carrying an old radio blaring at full volume, but not saying a word. At one point, the radio said something like, "Walk away." Rick kept going until the fence ended. Now there was nothing between them anymore. They locked eyes in a long, tense stare. Then the man reached into his coat, and Rick didn't wait to find out what happens next. He ran off, still wondering what had just occurred. A TikToker went randonauting with her friends when the app led them to a creepy, narrow dirt trail.
This is it right here. This is our spot. This is the exact spot on the randonauting. What is it? What the f? This is the exact spot. It's a freaking memorial? It's a grave. No, it's not a grave. I mean a memorial. This is so strange.
The path brought them to a memorial for Donna Jean Hawcock, a 17-year-old girl who was tragically killed in 1983. After a night of babysitting, Donna was brutally attacked in London, Ontario, and her case remains unsolved to this day. The eerie coincidence of the app leading them to a memorial raises unsettling questions about its link to her tragic story. Could it really be just a coincidence, or is there something more to it? A driver stumbled upon a flooded road in Florida and wasn't sure whether to keep going or turn back.
Move!
To check how deep the water was, he tossed out an empty water bottle. To his surprise, an alligator suddenly lunged at it. The gator had been completely hidden, perfectly blended into the murky floodwaters. Luckily, the man was unharmed, and, needless to say, he didn't keep driving down that road. Luke, a seasoned outdoor enthusiast, set out to explore the remote and eerie mountain known as Devil's Throne. Even before reaching the site, he heard unsettling sounds, but there was no one in sight.
I'm not alone up here. Something is with me. I hear footsteps, I drop my pack, I take off running. I can find nothing. I make it back to my pack, I'm hearing footsteps again.
As he set up camp in thick fog, the calm was broken by strange sounds.
I wish I could tell you all what that is, but I do not know. Like it's like just out of my reach as far as my hearing goes, you know? It's like one of those things where like I feel like I could tell what it was if it was just a little bit louder, but I can't. It sounds weird though, that's for sure.
Luke couldn't identify them. Later that night, he heard it again, closer.
I am still hearing that sound. Pretty loud, too. Closer. Unfortunately, it's too foggy, the rocks are too wet to go mess around in the dark. I have to stay right here. Basically, I'm hunkered down for the night. That is so weird. I mean, what the hell is that? I have no idea. But I certainly don't feel like I'm alone out here. There's that noise again. Every time I hear it, it sounds like it's in a different place. I don't know. It doesn't seem to be coming any closer. Like when we were eating, it was pretty loud, but now it's fairly far off. And that makes it kind of strange, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Locals speak of a black-eyed creature that roams the area and tales of a witch who once lived there. That night he stayed put, unsure if he was alone. What was out there with him on Devil's Throne? This TikToker was responding to a comment from another user asking about her username. But as she recorded, she had no idea that something horrifying was happening behind her.
Nunca he sentido que me parezco a Dua Lipa, pero desde que me corté el cabello siento que me parezco muchísimo menos a Dua Lipa. Y es que muchísima gente me dice que me parezco a la Dua Lipa del 2018 más o menos.
Through her cabin window, a lifeless figure with dead eyes was staring straight at her. She kept talking and filming, completely unaware of the eerie presence standing still in the background. It wasn't until later that she realized what had happened. What she did when she found out, no idea. In 2020, in a quiet town in New York, a farmer named Kirk Maths got a strange call. A huge safe had been found in his field. Even weirder, there was a note on it saying, if you can open it, you can keep what is inside. Naturally, a crowd gathered, eager to crack it open. Deputies had to step in when they saw people hammering at it, but the safe wouldn't budge. It weighed around 600 pounds, making it impossible to move without machinery, so someone must have gone through a lot of effort to leave it in that field. To this day, no one knows who left it or what's inside, but Matt decided to hide it to keep the mystery alive. I guess we'll never find out. A man saw movement outside his cabin and decided to take a look. As he shines his flashlight into the dark bushes, he captures this on camera. Though the video is low quality, dog-like ears and a snout seem to appear, followed by a vaguely human-shaped lower body. Many believe it could be the Michigan Dogman, a creature said to haunt the forests of Michigan. While the idea is intriguing, it's best to stay skeptical. Potato-quality footage isn't exactly solid proof. Kenny, a passionate traveler, loves sharing his outdoor adventures with his viewers on his YouTube channel, Kenny of All Trades. On March 2nd, 2024, he set up camp by a peaceful lake, planning to ice fish.
Out of nowhere, the flasher completely lit up. And I'm thinking, is that all fish? But looks like it's just bubbles coming to the surface. There we go. There we go. What do we got? Sunny. Awesome. These are smelling delicious. I think it's time to come out. All right, taste test time. Look at that. Believe me, that's gonna be good.
After catching a few fish and preparing for dinner, everything seemed perfect. But as night falls and he prepares for bed, this happens.
This is strange. I came outside. Holy buckets. It's like 11:30 at night. Someone completely unloaded a magazine out here. At first I thought it was the lake, but no, not after that. What the heck?
The sound of shots echo through the air, getting closer. Then, just as suddenly, the shooting stops. Who or what could be out there? And what was going on? Nervous and unsure, Kenny locks himself inside his RV, hoping the night will pass peacefully. Luckily it does, but Kenny is left wondering, what really happened that night? The person who recorded this video was performing some kind of ritual near an old graveyard when they spotted something unusual. A little girl. Curious, they asked where she came from, and the girl simply pointed toward the graves. They asked if her parents knew she was there. Again, she pointed at the graveyard. Feeling uneasy, the recorder decided to leave. But when they turned back for one last look, the girl was gone. I wonder if they alerted the authorities about her, just in case she wasn't a ghost, but an actual lost child. In 2006, volunteers were cleaning up Ben Nevis in Scotland when they stumbled upon something completely unexpected: an old piano near the summit. It was weather-beaten and missing a keyboard, but somehow it was still there. The only clue left behind was a biscuit wrapper from 1986, suggesting the piano had been sitting there for over 20 years. How and why did someone haul up a piano up a mountain 3 times the height of the Empire State Building? Turns out, athlete Kenny Campbell came forward and revealed he had carried the 226-pound piano on his back in 1971 as part of a charity fundraiser. And when he reached the top, he even played a few songs on it for passing tourists. Mystery solved. A homeowner near the woods set up a motion sensor camera to catch deer wandering into their yard. But this time it captured something unsettling. An eerie white column of mist floated through the yard. It wasn't a reflection or lens flare. The motion sensor had been triggered, meaning that something was really there. Some believe it was a ghost, maybe the spirit of someone who once lived nearby. A mother and her child were enjoying a peaceful day in the mountains when something unsettling caught her eye. A dark figure lurking behind her son. In a sudden panic, she rushed forward, throwing stones in a desperate attempt to protect her child, but the figure remained still, not moving an inch. Was this footage real? If so, who or what did they encounter in the mountains that day? While exploring Fairview Lawn Cemetery, the final resting place for over 100 Titanic victims, this man took a few random photos. But one of them turned out to be far from ordinary. If you look closely, a ghostly face seems to appear in the frame. He didn't notice it at the time. It was only later, while reviewing the photos, that he realized what he had captured. Was it just light and shadow, or something beyond explanation? Someone was driving through a field, past a group of sheep, when one sheep caught their eye. Take a look. It was walking mostly on its 2 back legs, trying to stand up straight, but struggling. What was this sheep doing? Now, let's watch this next video together.